Disorder by Gianna Szabo. Bipolar is a mental health condition where people experience severe mood swings. These mood swings involve highs and lows in emotions. This can be very draining on a person. Highs consist of mania, hypomania, while lows consist of a state of depression. Hypomania is a little less intense than mania itself, but the symptoms are very similar. Decreased need for sleep, inflated self-esteem, racing thoughts, fast talking, overall elevated mood. Whereas the depression is a low mood, fatigue, suicidal thoughts, just very down. To get diagnosed with bipolar, you must get a psych evaluation from your doctor. There's 2 different types of bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. Bipolar 1 has more intense symptoms of mania. A person would have to experience at least 1 full week of mania to have bipolar 1, whereas getting diagnosed with bipolar 2, you'd have to experience either hypomania or a depressive episode. Nature versus nurture. Nature is more of the biological genetics factor of it, from like family members. It can be chemical imbalances in the brain abnormalities, whereas the nurture is your environment, childhood trauma, substance abuse, stress. Bipolar can have impacts on a person's health. Physically, it can cause sleep problems, appetite changes, motor skills can be messed up. You can have low and high energy, which can counteract with each other. If you're having a really good week, 1 week, you might be a good version of yourself, and then you might have a bad week, and the things you were doing might change. Your cognitive, it can impair your memory, forgetfulness. It can mess with your attention and your decision making. You can have poor judgment. The social emotional part of it is impulsivity, struggling maintaining relationships, doing well in school, having that type of relationship with your family and friends. When it comes to personality, you can have a disordered sense of self from being manic or being irritable, and it can cause mood problems. Bipolar 1 is equally common in males and females, while bipolar 2 is more common in women. When it comes to culture, some places may be more hesitant to diagnose mental health issues. They also might be uneducated on it. There can also be certain stigmas around mental health. Around 2.8% of the U.S. is affected by bipolar. Medication is a really good treatment for bipolar. It's the most common used one. You can take mood stabilizers, antipsychotics, antidepressants, anxiety medications. A lot of medications can help decrease your symptoms. Therapy is also a good treatment. When it comes to programs, people in school can have IEPs and get accommodations for classes. There's also a bunch of mental health programs out there where you can do outpatient, inpatient, and they can help you get started on a treatment. When it comes to age, children, 1 to 3% are affected. They usually have more frequent mood swings, tantrums, and can often be diagnosed as ADHD. Teens are 1 to 5%, and they usually struggle with social issues, risk-taking behaviors, school problems such as fights or bad grades, or getting in trouble with the law. Adults, their cycles become more frequent, and it becomes more of a routine between the mania and depression. Harvard Medical has a study on bipolar, and this study shows that lithium is the most used medication for bipolar, but scientists don't fully understand how lithium improves symptoms. The AKAP11 is the first gene to have an impact on the risk of having bipolar, from what they know of. Their study found people People with bipolar were more likely to have gene variants that aren't fully made, meaning the protein was not fully developed or just simply does not work. This revealed that variants in the AKAP11 gene raise disease risks, making it the strongest genetic risk factor found for bipolar disorder. And my sources.